live in front of the manure. Here's something I wanted to make a quick video on that I think I have a pretty good grasp on, but it'll be kind of, I guess, interesting because if anything, I'll be asking more questions than really giving out advice, but just the idea of like, how do you not, for lack of a better word, how do you not give a fuck about what other people think about you? Like, how do you just, whether it's your day to day, whether it's something that you're sensitive about, whether it's something that's embarrassing, something that's like you really want to do, or just the overall like you know, like how do you not care about what other people think? And the reason I think I have a pretty good grasp on it is just I have my own personal philosophy, and that's kind of what I was getting at with the whole asking more questions than like specifically answering anything that I'm gonna like yes, I clicked on this video, he's got the answer. It's like, no, this is just my take on that, you know? But anywho, the way you don't care about what other people think really just comes down to pure 100% confidence. And this is confidence, real confidence, that is gained through just owning up to your shit, which is basically to say, all of you, everything you've ever done, everything you do, everything about how you are, your strengths, your flaws, you have to say, this is me. I accept me. You know, do you accept it? Yes, no, I don't care. That's just how it is. And the reason I say also too, it has to be like 100% like authentic confidence is because it's very easy to put your hands in your pocket and either ignore parts of yourself or like not really, or like, you know, turn a blind eye or whatever. And it's also really easy to just kind of like that fake smile, like that, like through your teeth, like, yes, I'm so confident because of XYZ. And it's like almost like a self-defeating prophecy a little bit, you know, it's like, I'm so confident. That's why you keep talking about it. And then you end up coming off not so confident, you know. So I guess you hear a lot of like people say that confidence is also silence. And so here's the questions that like really help with the whole owning up to your stuff. It's like, you have to be able to have the ability to not only do the things that you don't want to do, the things that you procrastinate on, the things you turn a blind eye to. You also have to be able to be grateful, just plain and simple. Gratitude is going to be your absolute like lifesaver during all of these changes you do to yourself. And the reason I say too, like, you have to accept the good and bad about yourself, your strengths and your weaknesses, is because it gives you two things. It gives you like you're not, you know, you're not planting seeds or you're just constantly like putting yourself down or beating yourself up, even if it's for a good reason. Like even if you're doing it to get tougher or to get, I don't know, some type of perspective about yourself. I know that's important to us guys, you know, the whole being a man thing. But it's also really important to be able to say like, this is me and that's awesome. And I'm really grateful I am who I am. To become the 100% version of yourself, you know, you also have to say, who do I want to be, really? Which should always be changing. That should be a constant evolution. And you have to be able to look at yourself as who I was and forgive that person because they didn't know any better. But now that you're learning, now that you're willing to change, now that you're acknowledging that you're not happy with yourself, that you're not confident, really, you can forgive that person and all of their flaws and everything they've done. And there will be, I'm sure, like consequences for your past actions. And, you know, you can even also be very accepting of, you know, like all of your traits. Maybe you get angry really easily, or maybe you get like afraid really easily. You have to be able to say like, I accept that. And then you yourself have to ask the question of like, am I happy with that? Like, am I okay with that? You know, if I'm quick to anger, am I cool with like whatever the results are? And maybe other people aren't so cool with that, you know, same with like being afraid, especially for a man. If you're always afraid, it's like, okay, well, other people are likely going to have to step in when you have to be a leader, when you have to be a man. So are you cool with that? Or if you want to be a man, then you should change that. Like questions like this. And acceptance doesn't mean that like, you know, it's okay to stay there, or rather, like you have to be okay with whatever the results are. You have to own up to your shit. You know, likewise too, like I guess you could say like my authentic self is I'm just a big baby who wants to do nothing. And, like have everyone take care of me and that's it, and I just want to be like a couch potato the rest of my life. And that's cool too. That's going to come with its own results, its own formula. And you have to be willing to say, I own up to that shit. I own up to whatever the outcome's going to be, but that's me. That's me and I accept it. So, the easy one I think is like the positive, like the strengths. There are some people that need those maybe pointed out where you have to think about this a little bit. But for the most part, it's easy to think about the stuff where it's like, I'm awesome at this. The things that like bug you, and they bug you because you how do you say, you think about them subconsciously. When someone asks you the question of if you're confident or not, they linger. You can deny it all you want, but you know that they're there. And maybe you don't know what exactly it is yet, but you know that there's something that prevents you from answering that question of like, are you confident in yourself 100%? Whatever is in there in the darkness, that still has to be addressed. And it could come down to changing it, to eliminating something, but at the very least, you have to accept it as part of you. And it's like, well, can I really become the person that I want to be if I'm so like flawed? And it's like, well, yeah, it's like, do you think anyone in history that's done great things, that's become a great person, like, do you think they were not flawed? It's like, come on. God, the universe, doesn't use people that are perfect. He's spoken through plenty of people that are perfectly flawed. Is it too late for me? That might be another question you have. And it's like, well, can't really answer that because you could just, die tomorrow or in a few hours or something. But what I can say is that as long as you're alive, you have infinite chances. So really, you say you were to die tomorrow, okay, like, what's the end result, right? It's like you either live in pain, still being who you are, or you live in pain, deciding like who you're going to become, deciding that, like, this is where the direction I want to go. I'm going to finally be firm and, not ignore it, not, go to my calling. Regardless, the path is going to have pain in it. So you might as well pick the path that has pain and it's actually going to make you happy. If you noticed, I haven't really talked about like other people like whatsoever in this. It's all been like, this is what I've experienced, and it's all been focused on the self. And that's because that's really all you can change. At the end of the day, your circle, your surroundings, the people you encounter, really all depends on your mindset and your energy. So if you don't want to care about what other people think, you can only get to that sense of peace, that sense of freedom, by clearing up everything inside of your own mindset. And you have to address all of you, accept all of you, figure out what you want to keep, what you want to change, and then accept the path that it takes to get there. Really just acceptance, discipline, and gratitude, more or less, is what you need. The discipline to keep going on this path. If you fall, you get back up. You don't people please or be in denial and try to do everything all at once. It's like, no, when you decide to do something, you stick to it. Don't try to be all like trying to do everything. If you decide that you want to be this level of confident, if you decide you don't want to care about other people's opinions, stay on that path. Do not try to do both things at once. It won't work. And then finally, just the acceptance part, which is everything else I mentioned before all this. Acceptance doesn't mean that it's like, well, I accept myself exactly how I am. It's like, okay, it's easy to say I accept myself, but really, I mean, if you truly accepted yourself, this video wouldn't matter to you. Like you're good to go. You're exactly where you need to be, and it's not important. But if for some reason there's still any sort of like, whoa, numbers. Anyways, if there's even like a tiny amount of doubt, of unaddressed things, of pain points inside of yourself, when you ask yourself, like, do you care about what other people think? It's okay that it's there, but you have to acknowledge it. You have to acknowledge it and accept that it's there. And it's like, maybe this could just even be like a weak point of mine, and I'm always have to keep working on it constantly as, I get new challenges, new things in my life, and that's okay. But most people don't even get to that step, and they live completely blind and in denial to all of those things. And really, it all comes down to just, hey, just think about these things, just address them, and change your mindset when you think about these things as just prizes, things to work on. Like, okay, maybe you've made some mistakes. Maybe you've some parts about yourself you're not proud of, you're not happy with. Cool. Accept that. And then push forward into fixing your shit. Accept the consequences, accept the results of what you've done and what you will do. And eventually it just becomes like a brand new, for lack of a better word, person. Honestly, you're still you, but you're the real version of you, the version of you that is at peace. And when you feel that peace truly 100% inside of yourself, things change. And suddenly, something so insignificant as what other people say, what other people think, doesn't seem like such a big deal. But anyways, those are my thoughts on that. I know they're not perfect. And like I said, it's more questions really than answers. But I just had that thought recently, and I really do look back at older mindsets, get excited for where I'm going, but also older ways that I used to think, and I always think like, man, I've come a long way, and I can't believe I used to think that way. And it's just interesting sometimes to just dig around and learn more about yourself. But if you watched up to this point, me and the manure, thank you. And I'll see you guys very soon. I am off to take advantage of this nice day to go walk, which is its own topic, by the way, separate video, the whole idea of if you're having trouble with the mindset aspect of it, how exercise and physical motion works into that. Separate video. This video is over. So see ya.